Congratulations on Transformers 1. The kids are with you at the premiere in Sydney. Did they join you tonight?
They're not here tonight. No. They saw it. And they're back in Australia, and now I'm on the world press tour solo. But they loved it, and it was good to have them there.
How did they inspire you to star in Transformers?
I run a lot of my decisions, my sort of career decisions, by them, and this was one that they were pretty adamant about that I had to do. You know, I had some hesitation just around bringing something new to the franchise, following in the footsteps of Peter Cullen, who's done such a brilliant job, but they said, you got to do it, Dad, you got to do it. And then thankfully the script offered something very fresh and unique to the space as well. So.
You are a man of many talents. In LA, Dancing with the Stars is premiering as we speak.
Wow.
As a former frontrunner who lasted 7 weeks, what is your best advice to tonight's contenders?
It felt like an eternity, but I don't think it was 7, I think it was about 3. My advice? Oh, God. Have fun. You know, that's why I did it.
What was your best move?
I didn't have one. I got very low scores across the entire show. So.
Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Congratulations on Transformers 1.
Thank you.
Tell me how this appeals to the kid in you.
Oh my God! I mean, can't you see him jumping up and down right now? I was saying earlier, I was like, it's kind of sad that there's no longer the ritual of the Saturday morning cartoon. Because I remember in the '80s, if you're fortunate enough to be '80s baby, you got up in the morning Saturday, you got your sugary cereal, you pressed your face against the television screen, and you watched like 4 or 5 hours of action cartoons. And if you were lucky enough, you went outside and played with those action figures. I was not so lucky to have those action figures. Chris and I were laughing about, like, do you remember how you acquired your Transformers? And he was like, we don't need to talk about it. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. I was like, I started like a gambling Transformers syndicate when I was young because I was like, I really, really want Megatron and Optimus Prime. But that was the nostalgia of it, right? And so what's really cool about starting at the very beginning, doing this origin story, is that we're creating a whole new nostalgia for a whole new generation. And it still hasn't really hit me that for some generations, I'll be their first idea of Megatron. And even though, we're stepping in the shoes of Peter Cullen and Frank Welker, like Chris and I really get a chance to do something fresh and original by going back to where they started. Like, it's really a coming of age story.
I love that you're a day one fan. That makes this super duper special.
Oh, yeah.
And also getting to, share this role with Chris Hemsworth. What is your friendship like off screen? Because we really get to see your two characters play out.
I can't think of anyone better to do this with than Chris, because we're both idiots. So that idiot in him sees the idiot in me, which is really great. And we like to joke. We're like, it's kind of like Megatron and Optimus Prime. They started as best friends, and now we're mortal enemies. But he's so talented and so charismatic and so great, and he really elevates anything he's a part of. So it's like I've known him my whole life.
Let me just ask you this. Did you know he was a former Dancing with the Stars frontrunner back in 2006?
Stop. And he didn't do it?
I mean, we got to bring him back, but he's already competed. He was a frontrunner back in the day.
So he did do it, and he was a front runner. Oh my God, good for him.
Fun fact.
That's amazing. Now I know why his back hurts all the time. That makes he must have had to do all the. Was it the paso doble? Did he do a paso doble? Did he make it that far?
I asked him his best move. He wouldn't reveal, but I imagine he can still bust a move.
Yeah, I'm sure he can. Classic. He's jumping off of like cliffs and surfing all the time, so he's got to have that flexibility in there somewhere. I will not be doing any of that, though, just to be very clear. My dancing is behind closed doors.
I just want to congratulate you on the Oscar buzz for The Fire Inside. What are you most proud of with that performance?
I'm really proud that story is told, truly. Clarissa Shields and Jason Crutchfield, their relationship is something that people needed to know about. I mean, she's the first 2-time gold medalist, black female boxer at 17 years old. And I was like, well, why don't we know about this story? So I was really, really honored to be able to play, these real people, tell this real story, and that is resonating with people. I'm truly honored.
So great to see all your success. Keep doing it.
I
Appreciate your stories.
Thank
you. First off, how cute is this little bumblebee
You like
pin?
my little bumblebee here? Yes. This is it's my spirit animal now. You know what I mean? I didn't know. I was searching for one for years, and then I got to play this role, and now I have a spiritual animal, or spirit insect, if you will. Yes.
This is your destiny. I love that. Are you a day one fan? How does this role really appeal to the kid in you?
Well, I was a huge Transformers fan as a young person. I watched the show, never missed it. Watched, I think, every episode. I don't know how many episodes there were, 53, 58 episodes. I watched all the episodes. I used to come home from school, drop the book bag, turn on the TV, and I watched it religiously. Wanted all the toys. I was really swept up. I went to go see the 1986 animated movie with my friends. I was in, and I've been in ever since. So.
Love the passion. Did you ever imagine that you would star in a Transformers movie?
Never. It just turned out, I was very fortunate that everything played out the way that it did. Josh Cooley directed Toy Story 4, and he's the creator and writer and director of this movie. And so I was in Toy Story 4, and so he asked me if I would come and do this. And we had the time of our lives. It was amazing.
You get to work with a pretty cool cast. I mean, Chris Hemsworth, what is it like getting to hang out with him?
Well, he's just like a rock, you know what I mean? It's perfect casting to have Chris do this. But think about what Chris has to do. He's got to do an American accent. He's kind of evoking Peter Cullen, who is the original voice of Optimus Prime. He's put a lot of work in, but he's a very steady hand. Being with him on the press tours is very calming in a way. You know, he's great.
Gotta ask, did you know that he was a Dancing with the Stars frontrunner back in 2006?
I didn't. What? Yeah. What, this Chris? There's a lot of Chris's, but we're talking about Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth was like a Twinkle Toes. I had no idea. Wait a minute. And the American? Australian Dancing with the Stars. Got it. Still counts. Okay. He was. Well, he moves very well. I mean, you think in the Thor movies and the Avenger movies, he's very athletic. He moves very well. So that doesn't actually surprise me that much. Yeah.
It's a fun fact. We asked him about it. So, in honor of Dancing with the Stars premiering tonight. Sure. But before we go, tell me why this film has so much heart in it.
Well, I think because it's a film about friendship, and it's a film about how relationships work and how people grow apart. And I think that is the emotional center of the movie. And it's something for everybody to enjoy. Kids are going to love it. It's beautiful. There's lots of action. There's fun humor in it. It's packed with incident, but that is the core, is this relationship between these two characters, and it's what drives everything else.
Who doesn't love an animated movie?
Well, yeah, everybody loves an animated movie, right? I think adults.
Or in your pajamas.
Yeah, yes, you do get to do that, it's really, everybody wins. Everybody wins, yeah.
Well, congratulations. Have so much fun tonight. Congratulations on Transformers 1. Such a beloved franchise, the Transformers. Yeah. Talk about how this one is actually an origin story.
This is an origin story for Optimus Prime and Megatron and their relationship. We've always seen them as enemies, and we've never seen them when they were friends and what caused them to be enemies. So this is exploring that whole relationship.
And you got Chris Hemsworth leading this cast. Was that an easy sell? I mean, he's got some cute young kids.
Yeah, I found out, I thought I sold it, but it turns out it was his kids that were like, yeah, you have to do this, Dad. And so I thank the kids.
Well, we love that. I saw they were at the premiere in Sydney. Hopefully they'll be here tonight. What was it like getting to work with Chris?
Chris is amazing. He's just so collaborative and willing to try anything. And this was his first time doing voiceover. So I let him know, let's just play around. It's nothing to worry about. And he brought so much to this character that, and such a great arc to the character as well. So I'm absolutely thrilled. I can't imagine it being anybody else as Ryan Pax.
Did this cast get to actually record together in person?
They didn't. I mean, that's part of the that's part of the process of animation, is that it's hard to get everybody together for such a long time. So we recorded everybody individually, and but then I was able to play kind of like what Brian Tyree's recordings were for Chris, and he'd adjust his performance. So, which is phenomenal. You usually don't get to do that even. So it was really cool to see how he would change his performance based on what's already been done.
People are definitely going to love it. Tell me why this film has so much heart.
It's all about the relationship between these two characters, and that was the thing that really, for me as a director, to hold on to the whole time. I never wanted to forget that. And so there are no humans in this movie, and so we put all the human relationship and emotion into these characters. So this is kind of the most human story that's ever been told with Transformers.